Hello and welcome to this YouTube channel about cryptocurrency education. Today I'd like to show you why I invest in Cardano. I would like to talk about the 10 reasons why I invest in Cardano and why you might consider or should consider to invest in Cardano as well. Bear in mind, as always, this is not financial advice. This is purely my opinion. Just take it always with a pinch of salt, and it is solely for entertainment purposes and also educational purposes, just to let you know what's going on in the crypto space and the Cardano space. And of these 10 reasons, stick with me. Maybe there are a few here and there that you might not know about. Good things, basically selling points of Cardano that might be useful for you to know as well. But let's first talk about the chart here quickly on CoinMarketCap, just quickly showing you today what happened on Cardano with the value. Now, I did a video this around lunchtime here in UK time today, talk to you about will Cardano hit the $1? I said yes, it will be, and also I believed it would go below $1. Well, it didn't go below $1 today, but it did actually hit the $1 mark, and I purchased very close to the bottom here, which was nice. I believe there might be another dip coming, but we will see. You never know in the crypto space, but I believe we haven't seen the bottom yet, and I believe Bitcoin will go down further, and I believe Cardano will follow, and from then on we should hopefully see a rise again. But that's really just because I know it's for many people it was a depressing day, so I would like to share these thoughts with you, these 10 reasons, and remind you why you should stick with Cardano, why you shouldn't really sell it, and why you might actually want to buy more. We also should not forget where we actually come from. If you consider where we were, let's have a look where we were last year and everything. So we're actually doing pretty well. We are really doing really well. So of course we want to go higher again, but don't forget that the big things are still coming in Cardano, and we're on a good way. So I'd like to share with you my 10 thoughts, my 10 points of reasons why I'm investing in Cardano and why you might do this as well. Also, if you don't really know about Cardano, stay with me. You'll learn a lot about Cardano if you don't already know these things and if you don't know Cardano very well. So the very first thing is it has a low energy consumption. So this is actually just an extract here of the this article here, the 16 most sustainable cryptocurrencies for 2021. This was actually updated today, so it is very, very up to date, very much up to date. And these 16 cryptocurrencies here, we can see that they have put Cardano on number 3. Now the reason is that it actually uses far less energy than, for example, Bitcoin. The reason is that Cardano has a proof of stake mechanism compared to the proof of work, which takes or uses more energy, and just means it helps to save a lot of energy. And this is the first reason. I believe this gets more and more important and will be a huge, huge driver for innovation. So whatever network uses less energy, least energy, I think it's a huge selling point in the future. Companies are going to look for it. The whole topic of sustainability is getting more and more important. And even when companies and institutions are going to invest in currencies and cryptocurrencies, they will also look at, how much energy is that coin using or that network, and is it sustainable? So that is actually my first big selling point here. The second big selling point is actually the transaction speed of Cardano. So if we look at that, Cardano was actually tested 2017, and it was able to process as much as 257 transactions per second. Now this was 2017, but even if you compare it to Ethereum 1.0 or Bitcoin can only process 4.6 transactions per second, and Ethereum 15 to 20 transactions per second. So you can already see that even there, Cardano was much, 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 much faster than Bitcoin and Ethereum, but they are actually planning to increase that even further. And there are people who believe 60,000 will be possible with Cardano. So 60,000 TPS, transactions per second, and some people even talk about more. Now that was the second reason. Let's go to the third reason. Now the third reason is this Cardano Testnet rollout plan. We are currently in the Alonso Blue phase. If you don't know what this all is, it just is the roadmap of Cardano to actually roll out what everybody has been waiting for, which is the adoption of smart contracts. This whole thing here makes Cardano suitable for smart contracts. It actually is sort of the final stage of everything the Cardano developers have been working on in the last few years. We are currently in this Alonso Blue phase in June. This was the initial, or is the initial test phase where smart contracts are tested. Now Cardano have already confirmed that smart contracts have been tested successfully, so we will now very soon move into Alonso White, where more and more people will come in and test it. And then as soon as everything is working here, then the Alonso Purple phase will be launched, which is basically something like a public test phase, where I think there will be public access and everybody can test them. And then this will eventually lead to the Alonso mainnet become live in September. So it will be a hard fork. There will be something like a software update, and then hopefully from then on we will see smart contracts working. Now this will be a massive change. There's so much development going on the Cardano blockchain, so if this really works out as it will and should, because of the scientific approach they are following, then by all means this will be a fantastic selling point for Cardano. What do we have now? We've got a most decentralized cryptocurrency in the world. This is the next point. They are talking about here in this article that it is actually 98.5% of all coins are being distributed among retail investors. So it is a very decentralized coin. I really like this. It means there is less likelihood of like 51% attacks, and it's just less centralization. It's more democratic. Everybody who owns ADA has a chance to stake them, has a chance to vote. I'm really a friend of this. I really like this whole point of decentralization. Really a big friend of that. What's next? The next thing is that the blockchain comes into Africa. So Cardano has this massive vision, this fantastic vision to bring these great payment systems to Africa, to people who don't really have access to a bank account maybe. It will make Africa, hopefully be a very, very positive development for Africa. I believe, generally with all these blockchain, the new technologies, it's fantastic that countries like, generally countries in Africa, but also countries like, El Salvador, that these countries that are sort of behind, that are maybe suffered in the past, that it didn't really go well for them for various reasons, that they now start to adopt these new technologies, that they are open towards them, and it could really help these countries to finally push and get the push they need to become really good, and hard to say, but really good, and that these countries make progress, and that they get what they deserve. This is really fantastic. So they have already made these deals with Tanzania and Ethiopia, and this is all confirmed. So mass adoption is coming, guys, to Africa. It's probably the start. Hopefully it will roll up from there, but it is generally when governments are adopting something, this is the start of mass adoption. What's happening then? This is now their 6th point. So on top of the African development in Africa, there is apparently another big Cardano deal in the making. This hasn't been confirmed yet, but it just shows that there is ongoing development. And the director of African operations, John O'Connor, he said there is another significant deal in the works. Now, they don't really say what it is, but apparently something with between a local government and the private sector. So we don't really know what it is. But then there's also a tweet here, but it just shows that, as they say here, it's still early stages, but developments are carrying on all the time. Something's happening in the background we don't always know about, but it just shows Cardano is just getting everywhere, It is unbelievable. Right, number 7, it's the scientific approach that I really like. It is really this step-by-step approach that we can really see what's going on. It's very scientific, it's very open. Things are being peer-reviewed, and people are just knowing what's going on, and it is a very systematic approach, which I believe is one reason why everything has been going so well in Cardano and why people have so much trust into Cardano. Now let's get to the 8th point, and that is the programming language. So the programming language, which is called Haskell, it is a programming language that has been written by the Cardano team, by the development team, and it has been made, I'm not an expert, but as far as I have researched, it has been made very simple, very easy to use, gives the developers of these D apps a lot of possibilities to a lot of freedom, a lot of possibilities. It seems to be very easy to learn, and they have a lot of possibilities, and it seems to be a very good programming language that has been optimized by the Cardano team. So it is something that I've heard only positive things about. Also the developers, I mean the app developers and the developers of projects that are running on the blockchain that would be using these programming languages, they've spoken very positive about it. And that is the 8th point. The 9th point is the reason of being transparent, or the transparency in the Cardano blockchain. The whole project is very transparent. They are very open about everything. There is so much, they are tweeting news. There are so many articles. There's a great community as well that helps to spread the word about Cardano. But really everybody is knowing all the time what's going on, which is fantastic. Obviously, if there are competitors, that's not that great, but because the team is just so dedicated and they're working all the time on this, they are so open about it, which just leads to this trust that is built up. And the 10th point is about the great community and the fact that almost 72% of all ADA is now staked. Now that article is actually 4 months old. I don't know if there is a more up-to-date one. I didn't find one. But what that just indicates is that people have so much trust into Cardano that they are staking all their ADA on the blockchain to help the blockchain running more stable, to help the validators and transactions being validated. And it means that if people are staking, they are likely not really to sell. They want to keep it on the blockchain. They are likely in there for the long term, as I am as well. They are earning passive income, and they have trust in that blockchain, which is fantastic. So you have this decentralization plus the trust of the community, and I believe there is so much going on. It's just fantastic for that whole project. So these were 10 things why I believe Cardano is optimal, a great investment for the future. That's only my point of view. You always should do your own research, but I believe that it has a lot of selling points, and it is a fantastic project, and I thought it might be great to share these 10 points with you. You probably know a lot about them already. You know many of them anyway. Maybe there were 1 or 2 that you didn't know about, but if you did, even better, then you are very, very well educated about Cardano. And it's all about spreading the word. So hopefully if you like to support the Cardano community, if you want to spread your word about this channel as well, then please subscribe to the channel and give it a like. That helps the algorithm and helps spread the word about Cardano even further. Thanks a lot for watching, and I hope I'll see you in the next video. Bye.